Invisibility. To some people, invisibility would be a dream superpower. They fantasize about all the things they could do without being noticed. Not exactly heroic things, but when you look closer, it's not as cool as it sounds. Here's the problem. For you to see, light has to hit the back of your eyes. But if you're invisible, light would just pass through you, leaving you blind. And if somehow your eyes could catch light, they would still be visible, making you a pair of floating eyeballs. Just creepy. To go fully invisible, you need to be completely naked. Not that some of you would mind that, but you wouldn't be able to carry anything either, and since no one can see you, they would crash into you all the time. You better not use perfume or even make noise breathing. People would still know you are there. Plus, if you're thinking that you could rob a bank, a thermal camera would still spot your heat radiation, making it nearly impossible to sneak in undetected. Intangibility. Picture this. You've just unlocked intangibility. You're super excited, so you decide to phase your hand through a wall. But the moment you activate your powers, you drop straight through the floor, sinking into the earth. You either deactivate your powers and become fused into rock, suffocating to death, or continue sinking until you reach the molten center of the earth due to gravity, unable to do anything, waiting until you decide to die. Super speed. A moderate super speed of about 190 miles per hour, like Dash's, wouldn't be so bad. The problems would be minimal. But if we're talking about speed similar to the Flash, without Speed Force, then it would be a disaster waiting to happen. You would have to generate an enormous amount of force, far greater than what the human body can handle, and it would cause your legs to simply rip off your body. Here's another thing. Air isn't empty. It's filled with elements like oxygen and nitrogen, plus tons of tiny dust particles. As you move through air, you're rubbing against these particles, generating friction that produces heat. Moving at super speed would generate enough heat to burn your entire body. Let's say you don't burn. You still need to see where you're going. Human perception isn't adapted to handle high speeds, so moving at super speed would make everything blurry. The speed at which you think would need to match your physical speed, otherwise you would just crash into things, possibly doing what A-Train did, just running through people. And in the case that your perception does keep up, the world around you would seem so slow that you'd basically be stuck in time. Having super speed would also mean burning millions of calories every day, so you'd go broke, buying all the food needed to keep your metabolism satisfied. Teleportation. As you might know, the Earth is in constant motion through space, moving at around 67,000 miles per hour. It rotates, orbits the sun, and the solar system orbits around the center of the galaxy. If you wanted to teleport, you would need to calculate the exact position of the Earth through space, or else you would teleport into space, dying instantly. Immortality. If you were given the choice between dying in 1 year or becoming immortal, what would you choose? The choice seems obvious, doesn't it? You're thinking that being immortal would be much better than dying in a year, right? But if you're immortal, you would have to watch everyone you love die over and over again, until you don't have any emotional feelings anymore. You would live to see the human race die out. You would see the world end, and ultimately, you would be drifting in space all alone for eternity. Time stop. Oh, time stop. The superpower desired by many. Time stop would be a dream come true for some individuals for obvious reasons, but in reality, it would be a nightmare. The moment you stop time, the molecules of air around you would stop as well, making it impossible to breathe. It also means photons would stop, rendering you unable to see. So you stop time and become unable to breathe or see until you either resume time or just die. Great power, huh? Super strength. Super strength sounds awesome, right? In real life, though, it's a mess. Everything's designed for regular people, meaning that if you were super strong, you would be breaking doorknobs, keyboards, and glasses left and right. Imagine going to hug your mom and breaking her spine because you don't know how to control your strength yet. Having super strength doesn't mean you're indestructible either. If you punch a wall, for example, because of Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The force that you applied to the wall would be applied back to you with the same intensity, knocking you back and breaking your hand.